What's up, you guys? It's Jonno! Today I'm gonna give you an up-close and personal look at my Budsies! Woo! I'm gonna show you guys each of my Budsies individually so that we can get a little bit more, just more detail on how these Budsies are put together and what the process on them is and how I feel about them, because I felt like I kind of rushed through a lot of that in the unboxing videos I've done, and I do have 3 Budsies here in one place, which I'm going to be mailing this one out later today to the winner, Clash with Kitty. Congratulations, Clash with Kitty. So I figure before I lose this Budsie forever, I should do a little bit more up close and personal detailed review on the Budsie. So that's what I'm here to do, and I'm going to do it for all 3 of my Budsies so we can kind of just do it in one place. And you guys can see what my opinion of Budsies is after I got my first one, which is months ago, and to getting these new ones, which I just got this one a couple days ago, and I've had this one for a couple weeks now. And you can see my original one is still in just as good of condition as when I first got it. I left the tag on there. He still has great color. He still has really strong durable features. I've probably tugged on this thing a little bit too much, and he holds up. He always holds up. He's a very strong Pekka. Okay, so let's go one at a time. I'm going to leave my extra Budsies in the scene here, and I'll just show you all of the details that I want to show you. So let's go from bottom to top. Here we have got the tail of the Budsie. You can see all of the little tiny pieces that they sewed on here. These are essentially felt. I would guess they're felt. They're not as soft as like velvet. Like, it's softer on the rest of it. Alright, so here we've got the bottom of the tail. Lots of good detail in there. They put good work into the color of the stitching. You can actually see a little bit of contrast on the stitching there because they used the black stitching on the gray tone of the underbelly, the kind of ribs there of the tail. It gives you that nice look of actual ribs. They put the detail even into the small details, like the ribbing being black there. I think that is just a critical detail. They did the same thing here on the front. You can see they actually sewed with black here, and that's a different color than they sewed in other places. This is actually sewn in white, so it blends a little bit more with the light color head. Alright, so I think that that is fantastic attention to detail, and it really makes the character come to life. Okay, so we've got more felt here on the hands. It's these little claws you can see here. I love these arms. I think they've got great shape to them. They're really well-defined arms. They've got a nice kind of dinosaur-y, you know, they're small and curved, kind of like you imagine a T-Rex would be. And I think that that's what the artist was going for, as well as that's what they tried to interpret for her. So they did a really good job interpreting that. Alright, so you'll notice that the Budsie actually will sit. If you set it down, it sits up upright. I mean, it's hard to tell because I'm holding it, but if you set it like on the chair, for example, I'm not sure if the camera can see that, but when you set it down, it does sit on its own because the tail supports it in the back. It's probably really hard to see, but you guys are just going to have to trust me on that. So they did good work on making sure that it stands up on its own, which I think is important. So let's go over here to the wings. The wings have got really good detail on the ribbing here, and that was actually part of the drawing that was very detailed in the drawing. Let's see if I can grab that drawing from over here and I'll show you. So I think she even put maybe too much detail on those ribs because they are a little bit big, but Budsies interpreted what was in the drawing very well, and they put that into her Budsie. So I think that they did a good job of putting exactly what they saw into the Budsie, and that's where it gets really tricky of make sure you send exactly what you want so that you get what you want. Now what would have been really cool is if they could have put the little Clash with Kitty like logo on there, but that's a trademark logo, so they probably didn't want to do that, so I understand why they wouldn't do that. Now let's move up to the head, because there's a lot of really good detail on the head here. See the spike that's on the top of the head? That's actually like that's the fabric that's shaped in that way, and then they've stuffed it to have this great spike, and then the rest of these spikes are actually sewn on pieces. So this is really, really good detail. Like, I love this. They put their tag on the back of the head, so when it's front facing, you don't really see the tag that much, but it's still there so you know that it's a Budsy. And I like to leave those tags on for official purposes. I think it's cool. I think it'll increase the resale value later on down the line when these are more rare, or maybe if Budsies changes their process, these will be the original Budsies, which would be interesting. So I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for these to become valuable down the line, and that's why I'm keeping the tag on mine. I hope Clash with Kitty keeps the tag on hers, but that's up to her. She certainly doesn't have to. That is her thing. It's her toy. She can do whatever she wants with it. Alright, so let's move on to the eyes. These, I believe, are felt, or if not felt, they're the same material as the little spikes here that are everywhere. So they've got probably 4 layers of the eye. They've got an underlayer, then they've got the blue layer, then they've got the black, and they've got the white that gives it a kind of little sheen. So I think that that's amazing detail. Again, I probably said it like 10 times in this video already. They really put attention to detail, and that's why I think it's worth spending the 90 bucks, or I think it's 80 bucks or something like that. When you get to tax, it's pretty expensive. Whoa, the mouth goes really far back, you guys. Check this out. The mouth actually opens. I cannot stress enough how much attention to detail they put, you guys. The mouth opens and it goes way far back there. You could hide stuff in there if you wanted to. Like, this is amazing, you guys. This is so cool. I really hope you can see how deep that mouth goes back. My whole hand is inside this mouth right now. I mean, my whole fingers are inside this mouth right now. That is insane, you guys. They put the work in. I literally just discovered that, like, while I was messing with it. I mean, that is so cool, you guys. It's so cool how much attention to detail they put in for us. So I'm going to move on to my P.E.K.K.A. Budsy. I want to make sure that I've got enough time for my video, so I want to move on to the next Budsy. This is my P.E.K.K.A. They sent me this P.E.K.K.A. and I sent them this drawing, which was actually a drawing from one of my fans. This was a fan drawing that I just accept fan art of Clash of Clans fan art all the time on my Instagram channel. It's instagram.com/JonnoPlaysCoc, or if you're on Instagram, just search JonnoPlaysCoc, like Clash of Clans. So this is a drawing they sent, or a drawing that was sent to me, and I sent it to Budsies and said, I really want to have this turned into a Budsy. I was already a Budsies fan, so I just spent the money and I bought this, and that's why Budsies was really excited about me, because I have a big channel and I have a big Instagram page, and they were like, wow, you get art submissions all the time. So there's a clear, a real clear connection between me and Budsies and the work that I do and the work that they do. So that's why we partnered for the contest, because I ordered this and I did my crazy unboxing video. This was actually like the best unboxing video that I did because I was so excited about it, and I had more time back then. And then, yeah, that video turned out really well, and I think Budsies was impressed and they wanted to work with me. So this is, you can see on my drawing, there's a lot of detail in the armor. So he's got the little purple spikes, he's got the purple spikes on his arm, he's got the gloves. If you look at his belly, he's got the big fat belly with the little kind of padded thing hanging down. So they put all that detail into my Budsy. He's got the little padded thing hanging down. You can see the armor goes up. He's got his big fat belly here. It's just like they really put the work in on the details. Here's the armor on the outside. They did some kind of stitching to give it a look of being very regal and very like armory. So then we've got the pink things that were on the hands and the spike from the arms. And of course he's got his sword, which is always in his face for some reason. And he's got his pink horns. I mean, they did great. The color is fantastic. There's really good contrast on everything. Like the black stitching here that gives it those nice lines and makes it look like armor. They did a great job. And even down to the feet. He's got these feet, and you can kind of tell on the drawing, I lost the drawing, but in the drawing the feet are cut off, and they went ahead and just made feet based on what they thought the feet should look like, and they did a really good job. I'm just so impressed, you guys. I can't stress enough how impressed I am at the execution that they create these with. And of course his face is very detailed. It looks just like the real P.E.K.K.A face. So the level of detail on this Budsy continues down, even down to the feet. I can't find the drawing now because it fell under my chair, but the feet were not actually in the drawing. The feet were cut off in the drawing, but you could barely see the little curve of the top of the shoes. So the Budsies team was able to just basically guess and say, this is what we think these feet should look like, and they put these feet together and they're perfect. It's exactly what they should have been. So I'm just so happy with what they were able to put together based off of the drawing that they were given. They really did a good job, and again, I love the contrast of all the details, all the stitching. Everything makes it come together for a very realistic package. So that's why I love this Budsy. Now let's go ahead and move on to my third Budsy. This was the second one that I received. This was my Budsy that I received as a part of the contest where Clash with Kitty won this Budsy. So the deal with Budsies was if I got 150 unique entries, I would get my own supersized Budsy. But I didn't want to necessarily get a supersized Budsy because I don't have that much room for a really large item. What I wanted specifically was a very, very custom item that was a combination of two drawings that I received in the contest of all the art that I received. So I had this drawing on the right, which was me in this kind of awesome painted format, and then I had this drawing on the left, which was a perfect, flawless level 6 balloon. I actually colored out the balloon bomber because I didn't want to confuse the artists at Budsies, so I did that in Photoshop. And then I had received that top drawing from a third fan. This is 3 different drawings. And I basically was telling Budsies in this picture, I want the combination of all of these, use the colors from the drawing on the left, use the colors from the drawing on the right, and use the concept of the drawing on the top. So that's what they did for me. Instead of doing a supersized Budsy, they combined the idea of 2 different Budsies together in order to give me this Budsy. And I'm very, very happy with what they put together. They got the balloon really, really well. The balloon has the patch. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can move it down just a little bit here for you guys. It's a little bit hard to see, but you got the patch here on the top. We also have the skull. We also have me with the bomb. Now a lot of people have mentioned for the level 6 balloon it should be a gold bomb. You notice in my drawing that I didn't have a gold bomb, so they were able to just put that together. I'm lucky I even got a bomb, basically, because it was really not supposed to happen this way, but they did it for me anyway. It's a total custom job. So we've got little miniature Budsy me, who actually, even though he's inside this thing, they did all the details of making him feet and making him have all the colors from my drawing. So he's inside of this level 6 balloon bomber thing, and then we've got the spikes down here on the bottom. That was a very important detail that I mentioned to them. And we've got all the correct colors. We've got me with the crazy orange beard. They basically got that from the drawing. I don't really have an orange beard, as you can tell, but I kind of like the orange beard. I think it's hilarious, and if you look at how huge it is, it really gives me like a monstrous beard. It's kind of hilarious how big they made it. So I've been hanging this, so that's why I've got it kind of on a string here, and then I've been hanging it in my scene for my Twitch channel. I'm basically on Twitch every weekday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's California time. And this kind of hangs in the scene, and so does my Budsy, and they just kind of hang out with me while I stream, and they're in the background just for my viewers to have some fun and look at something cool. So that's basically it as far as this guy goes. I do want to mention how soft all of these are. They're stuffed and they're extremely soft. Everything is super soft. They're all extremely huggable and extremely squeezable. So that's one of the things I love the most about these Budsies. They're just so great and so soft, and you could go to bed with it, or you could like hang out with it on a road trip or on the bus. It's just the kind of thing that you want to take everywhere with you because it feels so nice and it's so fun to have it around. And it's one of a kind. Nobody else has one. So when you get a Budsy, you're the only one that has that Budsy, which is the most unique and cool thing about it, I think. And that's why I'm such a big fan. Nobody else in the world is ever going to have one of these, and that's why I'm so sad to give this one up, because I know that it's one of a kind and I hate to see it go, but I think it is so exciting that Class with Kitty gets her very own Budsy for free, thanks to Budsies being so nice and doing the contest with my Instagram page. So thank you again, Budsies, for Class with Kitty's Budsy, for my Budsy, and for creating me my unique Budsy that I originally ordered. I'm really, really, really happy with all 3 of my Budsies. Okay, you guys, so that is going to be the end of my video, but I do want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for always watching my videos, you guys. I have so much fun making these videos for you and doing all the unboxings. It's just really fun for me to buy stuff, and I like to show off all the stuff that I buy, and I think you guys have fun getting them, watching the videos too. So thanks everybody again. Thank you for watching. Thanks to all my awesome subscribers. You guys are the best, and peace!